Three, two, one, and we're back.
Welcome back to Beyond the Signs podcast.
I'm your co-host, Omar Hamouda.
And I'm your fellow co-host, 𝐅𝐎𝐿𝐼.
And today we have a guest with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, guys. My name is Vito, videographer, photographer, basically do it all. Photographer and videographer to keep it real short.
Yep. Yeah. Philly-based, correct?
Philly-based. Born in New York, but 2003, moved to Philly. And ever since then, been living in Philly for the past decade plus.
That's tight.
So,
I love Philly. It's an amazing place. But so we wanted to have you on here. I spotted you on Instagram.
Thank you.
And and I was like, I saw your work and I was like, I feel like he does a very he has a similar vibe to, my style and what I like, the type of photography that I do. And I can relate a lot to his work. And, then I DM'd you and I was like, yo, you want to come on? And just went from there. So
excitement was real too. Like, you guys took the time to reach out to me. So thank you guys.
Yeah, that's the point of this podcast. And what we're trying to do is just give other creators like us a platform to share their story and share their creative endeavors and all that. So
thank you.
With that, I would love to know what led you to become a creative and what led you to want to create, basically.
So this is a funny story. So believe it or not, I used to want to be like a policeman, but that kind of transitioned because but it was like when I was very young. I wanted to be a policeman. Then, you know what happens being a policeman, So I was just like, let me transition and think about what else I want to do. And this was like real young. I'm talking about like maybe 10, 11 thinking about this. But that transition to me wanting to draw in elementary school. And that was the start of me just becoming the artist that I am today. So basically it was drawing for me. And then after that transitioned to me gaming, but like recording gaming and doing like editing montages and stuff like that. That transitioned to me actually being a photographer, and then from that being more so a videographer. So here I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested to know what type of gaming videos you used to make.
Call of Duty was my thing. So Call of Duty, Gears of War. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed those games, but also just editing montages, dealing with my video recording device. I would basically record my friends' footage, gameplays, and they would actually send me gameplay too, so I can just video edit them and create montages out of them. So
that's insane.
You started recruiting clients already at that point.
It wasn't even clients. I wasn't even getting paid. I was just on the type time of like, hey, you're my friend. We play games together. Right. Why not edit these videos for you? And they're like, cool. And
it's a way for you to create and also, bond and connect.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
No, it's very interesting because that's kind of one of the starts is by video games. So it's nice to hear that another
you used
creative
to do a similar thing, right?
Well, I didn't record shooter games. I recorded games that had RPGs, kind of like Legend of Zelda, Sonic, and all those type of games. But
legendary games,
legendary
games for sure, sure.
That's funny because that reminds me when I first started creating, it was just hitting up friends that I went to high school with, being like, yo, who wants to shoot? I'll shoot you, I'll edit these photos, we'll create something cool. It all starts, I feel like, a lot of it with your friends. Yeah,
and just on the collaborative tip,
Right.
Don't always expect. I feel like when you're starting something, not even on a creative standpoint, just whatever, you always want to kind of be on the collaborative tip. Everything isn't always about getting paid.
Absolutely.
So it's if you want to do something, if you want to collaborate, especially, and I do a lot of those, and in doing a lot of collaborations, that transition to them becoming opportunities for myself. You feel me? So collab. Don't always focus on the money.
I feel the same way.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before.
Yeah,
we
on
really
our
have.
previous episode. But the other question I wanted to ask you is, when did you actually pick up a camera and start creating with it?
So I actually started back in 2011. I'm pretty sure that was when I started high school. I didn't have a personal camera with me, but I did go to a trade high school in which, you know, I was able to like kind of like rent out equipment and just kind of use it to do these projects at school. So, but me personally getting my own personal camera was not until I actually graduated high school, and then I went to my college, Temple, needed a camera. So I ended up getting my first camera, which was the Nikon D3200. Yeah.
Dude, are you living my life or something? You're literally explaining how it's crazy, because like I had the same like it's funny enough too. I was gonna go to Temple. It was one of the colleges I was going to go to.
That's so interesting.
Do you still shoot with a Nikon?
Oh yeah. I shoot with a Nikon D7100. That's like my prize, and yeah, that's my joy right there. It's a 13 or 14-year-old camera. Still to this day, I shoot it. Anything
Fire.
digitally, I take out my Nikon D7100 and shoot. I'd be shooting weddings, portraits, for the most part. Yeah, like a lot of portraits. But yeah, I really do love that camera. So
that just shows that you don't always have to upgrade your equipment every couple years to the newest thing or the latest.
Yes, we live in
sometimes tried and true can do you
better
like, than anything else.
We live in a day and age where it's like everything's advancing so fast, you know. So to have equipment that's like your preference, it does not matter what you're shooting with. You know, everyone has their preference. Everyone has their certain workflow. So in dealing with my workflow, I don't mind shooting with a Nikon D7100. I don't really need the latest and greatest equipment, because whatever works for me works for me.
Right.
You feel me? And that's how all creatives should think.
Exactly.
Not all creatives think like that, but I feel like that's how all of them should be.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the other side.
You do. You know what? I think it's more of a guilty pleasure
for
you to just kind of like, you love the tech side of it. And
Oh yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's something different. I mean,
think
you have
it's
a passion
the
for
actual like abbreviation of it is GAS, which is Gear Acquisition Syndrome.
That's a new thing. I've never
I've never heard of that either.
It's fire though. It's fire. It's fire. Gas.
It's actually called GAS. I heard it from like, you ever watched any Chris Hughes videos?
I have not.
So Chris Hughes is a Canadian like filmmaker.
Okay.
And a lot of his videos on YouTube is about like how to be in a creative space, or like tutorials, or even like the things that he's doing or how he got his gigs and stuff. Cool. And one of the things he talks about is like GAS, which is you don't have to have the best of the gears to actually like do your job, because it like makes you like, because the whole type of syndrome isn't just buying the thing, it's thinking that you need the gear to actually perform better.
Yes, but you don't.
Well said.
Oh yeah, you don't.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Yeah, no. So another thing I noticed when I first came across your profile is that at least a lot of the stuff you have pinned are a lot of shows, a lot of concert videography, photography.
Right.
How'd you get into that?
So another funny story how I got into that. So I think, that moment in time I'll actually never forget, because it was a little bit of a frustrating day. So Logic came to Philly in like around Spring Garden. And
What year was this?
Maybe like 2015, 2016.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
He was at his like.
Yeah. It was a while ago, and I was there actually shooting photos. But I feel like just dealing with what I went through to actually get into that space with my camera, it just transitioned to me actually doing the whole video side of things as well. But I was going in there in line with my camera, planning to go in, hit the front, security right there. Mind you, I parked so far, right? That was the thing, you know, like you know when you're trying to get into a place and they say you cannot bring your camera and you park mad far, it's a horrible feeling. So that I was at that point. So I'm like, you know what? I have to come up with a way to finesse. So I get out of line. I go back in line. I tell them, oh, I left the battery in my camera in my car. Mind you, I had the battery somewhere tucked in deep inside my bag, but the battery was not in the camera. So they was just like, okay. And then they let me in. And then that whole time I was just in there just shooting photos. But I feel like that just transitioned. That day is like the pinnacle of me just like doing what I do now, dealing with videography and even photography, dealing with concerts. But yeah, that was a legendary day because, yeah, it was a frustrating day.
Finesse your way in.
Yeah, finesse my way. And a lot of times I've done that.
You didn't coordinate with anybody to get into that show.
No,
that was all you.
My mindset was like, you know what? I'm just going to get in. So I tried and I thought I wasn't going to get in. Ended up getting in. And yeah.
It's very hit or miss like that for sure.
Yes.
But if you know how to do it and you build the experience in that type of environment, in that type of atmosphere, it gets a little bit easier and easier, and you know kind of like what to say to get you in.
And also it's a memorable day for me because like it's just one of those things like, you know, when you're just in a moment in time and you got to think fast to do something.
Yes.
That was me. Like I'm just like, I got to think fast. I'm not trying to go walk back into that car.
Yes.
That's like hella blocks away. So I'm like, okay, let me act like I don't have the battery anymore. Tell him I can't take the photos anyways. And he still let me in. I'm like, man, you should have got fired. You should have got fired because I really finesse
out there.
Oh man,
sorry.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was a different time back then. So like, yeah, I feel like now, you know, with as saturated as, you know, the concert photography market is and that field, everybody's trying to get into shows now, and you have that problem left and right. But back then, I feel like it was a little easier to kind of. Security guards hadn't really dealt with that issue too much.
I believe you on that one because I don't know how it's still this day. I still be thinking about it every now and then, and I don't know how. I just really finessed my way in. So
you gotta sometimes. You gotta act like you are supposed to be there, or that you already have a connect, or just
She knows.
In another way, yeah, absolutely.
She knows. That's really how it has to be.
I've done the same thing. You know, you make friends with the security guard. You make friends with somebody who works at the venue.
Right.
You're
you can't get that media pass. You got to finesse.
Exactly.
Got to finesse.
Exactly.
So.
No, that's cool. Well, okay. So, question. So, you've done events, you've done weddings, you've done other types of photography. But what is sort of like your favorite type that you've like to actually capture, whether it be any types of gigs or like what is your ideal gig?
Right. So I mean, just to answer, I think the first question you went back, we'll go back to that one, but overall, just like what I'm doing right now, dealing with like my art, I just love shooting a lot of film. And a lot of me shooting film deals with a lot of just collaborative, work with like friends. So, and the one thing I like about film, it's just has taught me like a lot of patience with my work, So we're like living in this heavily social media world where it's just like, we got to post every day. Mm-hmm. But dealing with me shooting film, I have to wait to get the photos developed. I scan all my photos myself, but I actually have to wait till my lab develop my photos, and then I have to go scan them, which also takes some time. So just me as an artist, just learning patience, that's what film has taught me, and that's what I'm doing a lot of, dealing with my work. Don't get me wrong, I do love the concerts, shooting the concerts. I do love shooting digital, you feel me? But dealing with film, it's just, there's a lot of patience. So that's what I'm like really just learning as an artist. So I really like the whole patience thing.
You're like a very minimal type of filmmaker and photographer, right?
Yeah. I shoot, mainly dealing with photography just overall. I like to shoot people a lot. So I'm a portraits type of guy when it comes to just doing photography. So yeah.
And I noticed that you shoot a lot of film, and that is something that requires a ton of patience, and that I feel like is part of the reason why a lot of people go for the digital nowadays, because they want to shoot it and then immediately have it in their hands and have it in their grasp. And also, if you're shooting digital, you could take as many photos as you want.
Right.
You could click, and then go back and take a moment from that. But you have to be so intentional when shooting film.
Purposeful, yep.
It's such a unique experience and reward at the end.
Exactly. Yeah, not to knock down people who shoot digital
At all.
photography, you know,
At
because
all.
I still shoot digital photography. I haven't totally abandoned digital photography, but I'm just saying, if you are shooting a lot of digital photography work, just pick up a film camera. And I'm not talking about no like crazy, you know, film camera that costs 12, you know, 1,300.
Right.
But even like a disposable camera, like, you know, Kodak disposable cameras, you can literally, you're just clicking. So even that, you know, just give film a try if you aren't, you know,
Go to your local Goodwill. You could find,
as my
you know,
mother would
basket.
say, Omar, I hate this digital stuff. Get me the old stuff.
Exactly.
I just want to shoot, develop it, wait 3 weeks, and I got it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's something really special about that. So I think it's good to highlight. Obviously, we all love shooting digitally. That's, you know, it's a whole separate entity though. So different appreciations for different fields, for sure.
Exactly.
And then back to my other question is, what do you like to actually shoot, like gig wise?
Gig wise, I would have to say concerts. I'm actually next month. I haven't really announced this yet, but next month I'm actually going on a 1-month tour with a band. So I actually went on tour with them earlier this year, but they actually wanted me and booked me for a month. So literally from September 6th to October 6th, I'll be on the road shooting. So yeah, concert photography and videography work, anything concert related, I love, you know. So
this isn't your first tour experience?
no, my first one was literally back in April of this year.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I'm blessed and grateful. You know, I was not expecting to even go on like tour. Like, you know, I always thought about like, yo, I need to go on tour.
Yep.
You know, one of these days my dream will come true. I just have to put the work in. And yeah, April came. Well, it wasn't actually, it was probably like 2 months before April, but my friend reached out to me. He is my friend in the band too. So, but yeah, they wanted to book me for like 2-3 weeks to go out on the road with them to shoot all their content on the tour. So yeah.
Nice.
How was that experience? Like,
It was a great. It was unique. It was unique, and not in a good or even a bad way. It was It's like right in the middle. The only thing, every time I tell somebody I went on my first tour, yeah, like I always tell them the only thing that I did not like was like not being able to shower every day.
Yeah.
All right, like
yeah.
I you know, like
yeah.
There's some venues where it's just like you go in there, it's just like, okay, I cannot shower in this. Like I can wait a day or two, you feel me? But yeah, that was the only thing that I really did not like. But other than that, the band was cool. I just loved the experience.
Right.
You feel me? So
getting to be in that atmosphere every night is very special.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a vibe for sure.
Especially when you know you're there with the band or the artist and you're not just trying to on the spot finesse your way in.
Right, exactly. It's
right. It's a really different feeling walking in there knowing that you got the photo pass, you're supposed to be there, you have free range.
Yeah,
you know,
good thing I told that story about the whole Logic situation, because that's like really it right there. That's how I feel when I was on tour. Like I don't have to sneak my way in. I got a media pass, bro. Chill out.
Yep.
I'm with the crew.
Yep.
I feel like when you do have the media pass and like you just have this urge of hiding it just to see if people like tell you something.
Right.
Like, bro, I'm allowed here.
Pull it out of your pocket. Right.
It's like I got the card.
Right. Exactly.
See, okay, so I have a question. Coming from Philly, right?
Right.
I recently in April shot a show in Philly. I shot at the Fillmore.
Okay, I love the Fillmore.
Have you had any problems with the staff or the security guards at the Fillmore in terms of being in the pit or having a pass?
Yeah, so I was actually I shot a Jack Harlow's concert, I think, sometime last year. I think it was November. And like when you're in the pit, they only allow you, I mean, that's dealing with like a lot of artists though, but they want you to play, like they want you to shoot in the pit for like 3 songs, and then the artist be like, all right, get these guys out. I don't know why exactly that is, but yeah, usually when it comes to that, like big artists like that too, it's like 3 songs, photographers, videographers, y'all got to get out the pit. So I hate that.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah. I don't know.
It's funny because I had a similar experience at the Fillmore, but it was a little like more than that, to where like I've definitely experienced a ton of shows where it's like first 3 songs and then, you know, you gotta figure it out.
Right.
But with them, I feel like they wanted us, it was a little confusing. Everybody had a different answer, right? One person was like, oh, you just have first 3 songs of the opener.
Right.
And you're like, I don't think so.
Right.
And
So
the
wait,
next
they
person's
limit,
like,
limit how many
songs you get in the photo pit.
That's
right next to the
insane.
stage. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then somebody else told us, okay, you know, you get first 3 songs, that's it. And we're like, okay, that's fine. Then they're like, but you can't stand in the pit until the artist comes on. You have to be out of the pit until the artist comes on. And we're like, okay. And then the bodyguard of the artist actually came out and was like, first 3 songs, after that 3rd song is done, I don't want to see you take another photo. You got to get out.
Yeah, what
And
I've
we're
learned.
like, all right, you know.
Yeah, what I've learned from like the years I've been doing, just concert, video and photos. Sometimes like people in the venue who work at the venue, their communication is just off.
That's what it was.
You know, like people don't be knowing like who,
totally
like
what it was.
how long you're supposed to wait at the pit. Who's like, it's like y'all need to come as a team and be in a small room and collectively be on the type time of like, this is who, you feel me? But people, I don't know, people are so confused.
You know what it is, because I've experienced this, like not concerts. I've never done concerts before, but I've experienced it in the sense of like when it comes to actually coordinating, there's only one guy who actually knows what's supposed to go on, and there's his minions, I want to say, who are hired that day, and all they get is like the bits and pieces, like, oh, no one's supposed to be there, no one's supposed to be there.
They don't get the full picture.
Exactly. So when they do, and I realized the trick around it, and you can probably try it next time, is literally just say, oh no, I've talked to let's say Jack. he told me that we're supposed to be here.
That's finessing for real. That's
no, you tell them like this is where I'm actually supposed to be. So when they're like, oh, and like, yeah, we can talk to the guys right now. Like, be confident and just say, hey, I'm gonna talk to him right now, like to get the clearance, because I'm supposed to be here. Like, if you guys don't want me to, it's on your heads. Can I get like, and literally pull out something? Hey, can you like sign your name?
Oh man.
Majority of not people don't want to deal with that. They're like, yo, do whatever you want.
I mean, that's definitely an option.
I like that.
Because you have to. That's what we were talking about before. Confidence. You have to act like you're supposed to be there.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
not about confidence. It's also about like understanding. Like, people get threatened when you put out like, hey, can you sign here? Just so that, you know, if I forget, your ass is on the line. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. They don't want to be
Phone name,
responsible.
number, your address. I need to know it all.
If I was working, I'd be like, nah, go ahead. I don't want no problems.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's what it was at the Fillmore. It was like, you know, the guy on our side of the stage would say one story, and then someone else would come from the other side of the stage and go, no, this is, and then the guy who was talking to us, who also works there, is like, but I was told this, and it's just, you know, they're not often on the same page.
It's crazy. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, segueing into creative fields and different creative endeavors, I want to talk about your studio space.
Oh, yes.
Because I know that that's something that you just recently announced.
New things,
right?
Man.
And if you want to give us a rundown on that studio space.
So me and my friend Chino, we are opening up a studio, 1450 square foot studio over in Philly, Kensington area. Really beautiful space. We have yet to actually announce the grand opening, but we're just getting pieces for the studio. We're actually this weekend we're actually bringing stuff in the studio, but grand opening will be announced like really soon. But yeah, it's a new journey. I'm frightened a little bit. I'm a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie to you, but once again, you gotta take that leap. And I've been wanting a studio for a minute, and to actually have a good friend and a partner to actually come with me and us take that journey together.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's dope. So
that's always important when it comes to opening a new business venture with anyone.
Exactly.
I would say that we kind of did the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
It's the best situation that you could possibly have when you're doing it with a friend and you guys, you know, believe in each other and believe in what you're doing.
Yes.
You know?
And that could be a
Yes.
whole topic for another time. I'm thinking about it.
always thinking.
Because like I'm okay, so I'm on the defense of like having a friend who could be your business partner, but that could be a topic for another time, because I've had business ventures with friends that never worked, and that kind of killed the friendship. So it really depends on like who it is you do open it with, and I do hope for the best for the both of you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
But the
Appreciate
question I do want to ask is, what is the studio going to be about? Is it like where you recording, you filming, you do audio stuff,
Right.
photography? What is it?
Yeah, so we do want, first, we do want it to be a photography, videography type of, studio space. We want to actually do like different rooms with dealing with different like sets
Right.
in there.
Do you have like separations between?
Yeah, so we actually need to hire somebody to actually make those, like probably like a cubicle type of thing. But that's kind of like, that's going to be most likely later on down the line, but we do have like ideas in mind.
Like a flex wall type of situation.
Yeah. Like we have this one idea where we're trying to, and I actually know my friend, he does graffiti. So we trying to buy this fake wall. It's kind of like, it looks like I think it's like fabric or paper, but like, it's like a bricked up looking paper. So we're going to actually have him like most likely do like his graffiti all over it.
That's
so we can
tight.
roll it up and put
That's
it in the
tight.
closet, and then take it out whenever we want to actually shoot photos of potential clients or just different type of projects.
So let me know when the
So-
construction starts, because I got connection in my
thank
pocket.
you.
I got
Thank
you.
I mean, that's
Appreciate
a
that.
pretty big studio space to come
Yes.
across that in today's, market of anything, renting, buying, whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, it's a very
pretty rare.
it's a very lovely space, and the fact that it has a lot of natural light. I'm
Most important
I love shooting studio. I love doing studio photography. So, but to actually have that just simple, just natural lighting, it's like you can't beat it.
You can.
So-
And it's very valuable. And a lot of times that, the space that has the better natural lighting is even sometimes more expensive than the
Exactly.
space that doesn't. Because it's really important when you have people coming in to rent your space and they want a nice, light, airy environment to walk into. And, yeah, I'm really excited for you guys in
Thank you.
terms of, seeing that take off. And
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
And is there anything you want to say to our audiences since we're about to close out the episode?
I would say I just would like to just talk to the people who are just maybe haven't found their purpose yet. Right. So, once again, I feel like because of the pandemic, people just don't want to work or don't want to really like do what needs to be done to potentially, help find that passion in the long run. But everyone's journey is different, right? So if you have to work that 9 to 5 for a little bit and just a crappy job to, potentially support your purpose or your passion, whatever it may be in the future, do it.
Yeah.
I was, before my point in life right now, I worked as a sales representative dealing with clothing. I worked at an electronics store. I worked dealing with knocking on people's door, dealing with news inquiries. So all that brought me to where I'm at today, where I have just the mindset of like, okay, this is all I want to do. And yeah, just like once you find your purpose, just work towards that. And
Yeah, what I wanted to say is thank you for being on
thank you
as
for
our
having
third
me.
guest.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for
so
having
much
me.
for making the trip from Philly to come over here
Yes.
and talk with us about your journey. And
Thank you so
share that
much.
to everybody else.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you like this episode, you can subscribe down there, hit the bell notification to know when we do post, as well as follow our social media, which is the Instagram, the Twitter, and the Facebook. And also give a follow to Vito right here.
Yep, his @ will be in the description as well as in the beginning of this video if you guys want to check him out. Book him
Absolutely.
for your next gig.
Absolutely. And with that being said, if you want to see past episodes, you can click on Kira's face, and as well as whatever is between me and Vito over here. Did you know that we can put like cards so that people can actually click on it?
That's fire. That's fire.
They'll be clicking on one of our faces to go to another episode.
Absolutely. And with that being said, thank you, and we'll see you all next time.